too.
I love you too. That caramelized wrap is absolutely incredible. It's my hands down favorite out of every single wrap. There's 34 of them in the book, but it's my favorite. I mean, just for like what Kiko says, it's so durable. It tastes so good. It's super simple to make. I mean, they're all amazing. We're going to be doing a V8 one here pretty soon, which is really good. But I don't know. I'm always drawn toward that caramelized onion one. And we always say like second day wraps are best, right? Because it does kind of soften up slightly, depending on your moisture level.
As long as you don't put tomatoes in there.
Yeah, no tomatoes,
We only put tomatoes in the ones we're eating like right then.
Yeah.
You could always
I'll
do
have
like
to
a
try that onion one. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
No, I was going to say that I just got the newest bundle, but I had gotten another one, probably a couple of them back, and it was the one that had the hand salads. And I've tried a couple of them, the American burger, I think it was, but I didn't know. It's nice to know that the onion is a favorite because I was trying to decide which one I'm going to make next. And the other one that sounded really good to me, as far as the wrap part, was the everything bagel. I think it's.
I was just going to say that's the other one.
That's the one we make the most.
That's the one we make the most.
And the reason being is, well, it tastes amazing. It smells like onion bread.
We've got it memorized.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I know we went to this retreat with Chef AJ and we were just eating the salad and, having salsa and some guacamole for the dressing and fruit, throughout the day.
It
and
was
for breakfast.
at a resort. So it was pretty limited for raw
stuff. And so then we're like, well, it's, 3 days in, let's go grab one of our wraps, and just pulling it out, like instant dopamine hit, salivating because it was fresh. It was like fresh onion bread. It smelled like a fresh bagel.
Yeah.
I can actually smell it just by you describing it.
Oh my gosh. And we put some of our, see?
Smell-o-vision.
We put the cashew, smell-o-vision. Put the cashew cheese in, stuffed it right there at the table. And then, of course, people were like, where did you get that? And we're like, yo, this is contraband. We brought it in with us. Like, you can't buy these.
Mix around.
Start selling them out of the back of the suitcase.
Right. We're planning on hopefully going on a cruise this summer for celebration for our 7-year wedding anniversary. And we're going to be taking the wraps on the cruise with us. Thank you. So it'll be really fun. We'll do a video for you too. Nice. But they're so easy to travel with. Like, put them in your check-on bag or even your carry-on. They've let us through.
Yeah, unrolled. Just the flat plain wrap. I have tried to go into Mexico with wraps already pre-rolled, filled, and they made me throw them away. They wouldn't even let me eat them.
What?
I'm like, can I just?
And they don't let wraps.
For those watching, these are food wraps.
These are food wraps. But I was so bummed. I'm like, are you serious? I can't just eat like one real quick. They're like, nope. I'm like, oh my gosh. I should have said like I was a diabetic or something. Like I have to have my food. Because I had to throw away 8 of them, you guys. And they were the tuna fish wraps.
Oh, no.
And the tuna fish wraps.
They didn't throw them away. They all had a big party for dinner. They pulled them out of the bin and party with your wraps.
Like, do you know whose wraps these are?
But they let me in with the unrolled wraps. I had like a dozen of those or like 16 of those, which thank goodness, because then I was able to go to the store, get stuff to fill them and roll them fresh for my friends there.
Yeah. But usually they're totally cool with you taking just like the unfilled ones.
Yeah.
But if you're doing like domestic flights within the US, they don't care. You can take them. We've taken them to Canada.
I would imagine even in your own country, like Sky, if you were to roll them, and just you needed to go to a different part of Australia, I bet they wouldn't say anything. You know?
Even international's fine. You just can't step off the plane with anything. Like they're very like, because when you travel, like I just traveled, I think it was 23 hours, like through New Zealand and back out to, and so I was like, I could not do that without my own food. I mean, they give you a little fucking fruit. But I was going to say, you guys should do, I don't know, you might have already done it, a rosemary wrap with cranberry sauce or something for Christmas, like a Christmas theme wrap.
There is. Let me just grab the book.
It's so good.
See, I knew she'd be onto it.
Wow. We were thinking of making it for the kids when they're here for the holiday, for sure. I know it's a fun one, the Thanksgiving wrap, we call it. I think that's the name.
Imagine if you were given as a gift, would you wrap the wrap? It'd be like double wrap.
Right. Hey, it's double wrap. It's double wrap.
Double wrap. We can
Like a
do a
Chipotle.
wrap while we're rapping.
Oh yeah, we could rap about it. I
Wrap
like
it
that.
out.
Oh my God.
So
You know,
here's
I have
the
to say,
wrap.
it's so beautiful.
Very
I have to say also,
Oh,
Lisa
look
and Nate, I make this all the time when I have this, I work as a tour guide, and I always make it, and my clients always ask me, oh my God, that looks insane. Where do you get it? I want to, I want that same wrap. And it's like, well, I have to order from my cafe. Yeah, so thank you again.
Yeah. Come on down to the cafe. I'll make it fresh for you.
So this is our hand salads wrap book. You can get this on Amazon. Just go hand salads, Melissa Maris. You should be able to find this on Amazon. I don't unfortunately think that they print it in Australia because of the paper. There's like some stipulation with the paper.
It's gold lined paper. So
Well, it should be.
but-
No, it should be.
not really.
I know, but look at this. This is the holiday feast.
Oh,
There it
yeah,
is, the
see,
holiday
oh,
feast.
wow. All over that.
Yep. So this
It's
is the holiday
amazing.
feast, and it's a festive. It's a pumpkin, celery, onion, ginger, date wrap.
Ooh.
There's sweet potato patties that you would make as one of the fillings.
So good.
There's a
Oh my
holiday
God.
cashew cheese spread with cranberries and jalapeno.
So jalapeno,
There's,
cranberry cream cheese.
there's a massaged cruciferous, like a slaw kind of thing, and then there's for the sauce that you can put on top for each bite is a jackfruit cranberry sauce.
Because every salad
Oh,
is
Oh,
incomplete without that dressing, right?
Yeah, but that's just one of 34 in our wrap book. So
that's
yeah.
amazing.
And
The other thing.
Oh, sorry. No, I was going to ask the white dressing that kind of reminds me of mayo on that you have on a lot of those. Is that in the recipe or is that top secret?
Yeah, so they on some of these wraps, like for the everything bagel one, and some of the other ones as well, we have different cashew cheeses. So there's like the plain one.
Is there 4 or 5?
I think there's 4 or 5 different kinds of cheeses. So that's the white spread that you put on the base.
And what's so
Oh,
cool
okay.
about a cheese, and we try to teach
Mhm.
this, is like once you have the base dialed in, like
Mhm.
then it's just you're only limited by your own imagination of what kind of cheese you want to make, right? It's so amazing.
Different flavors. Like
Yeah.
you could make it like a ranch cream cheese with chives, onion, parsley.
Yeah.
And then tell them about the cheese when you
mustard.
coat the wrap. This is a really cool aspect to the
What
cheese.
about-
When you coat the wrap with the cheese, it like locks the wrap so the moisture from your
Mhm.
lettuce and other ingredients don't make the wrap soggy, because there's nothing worse than a soggy sandwich or a soggy wrap, right?
Yeah.
Nobody likes that. So that's where the cheese really does come in key, as opposed to like spreading like a real, like a fat-free dressing. It's still going to be delicious.
Yeah.
The salad dressing or the topping, that cheese,
Mhm.
makes it so amazing. But of course, it's cheese.
Yeah.
I love the apple in the
Oh,
comments.
that's made my
So
day.
sweet. Yeah.
Isn't that?
That's
Oh, I love you. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's
she
like,
donated the book to the local library. She
Oh,
won a
so
signed copy.
sweet,
That's so
Apple.
cool. It's giving me
Yeah.
That's
goosebumps.
amazing.
Oh, that
That's-
is awesome. Double high fives.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
so good.
I love
So
that.
good.
I just wanted to ask you guys, I'm pretty sure you have like a holiday recipe book as well, just because I know, is that because people do need help at this time? You have one, Lissa?
Yes, we actually have 3. There's a holiday
I
menu
find
one. I know.
Okay.
I wanted to do a number 4 this year, but we just didn't have enough time. But holiday menu 1 has the Christmas quiche, which is a young coconut quiche.
good.
And there's the date pie. I think the stuffing is in that one as well. Then there's holiday menu 2, which has the mushroom loaf. And each one has a salad, some sides, a main dish, and a dessert. So there's 3 volumes, and each one has different recipes. So each one has 8 recipes. Again, like salad, appetizer, sides,
Dessert.
main, dessert.
It's amazing.
And each one is meant to feed 8 to 10 people, or less with leftovers,
Mhm.
right? You always have leftovers. But what it is we have timestamps. So you buy all the ingredients. Like we have an ingredient list. So you buy all the ingredients, which will get you enough to make all 8 of the dishes for the feast. And then you just follow the timestamp. So it'll be like the night before at 8 p.m., do this. The day of, at 7 a.m., do this. At 8:15 a.m., do this. At 12 p.m., do this. So all you have to do is follow each step at a time that you should do it. And then by 6 o'clock, you will have all 8 dishes ready to go. And you just plate it all up.
That in itself is impressive to have everything done ready to go at a
Mhm.
certain time.
And
Yeah,
that
so
timing
we have
in
3
raw
of them.
vegan is, oh, I'm sorry to cut you off, Lisa. The timing in making in raw vegan is so important, right? So that's, I
Yeah.
really appreciate that.
Yeah, she is absolute incredible woman. The stuff that goes on in this mind right here, in the brain, it's so amazing. And I used to hate stuffing. Oh, I could never handle stuff. I just
Oh.
never liked it, just like soggy bread. I don't know. My parents, like weren't chefs or cooks, so the stuffing was horrible. Other family members, I'm not really digging it. But it's so interesting. Like I could eat bowls of this stuffing. I mean, there's no bread, it's raw vegan stuffing, but it's so good. It's like one of my favorite parts of the holiday menus. And of course, it's only in the number 1, I think.
Yeah.
But
we also have an ebook called Have a Winter Raw Food Romance. And Sky put the link up there. If anybody wants any of the ebooks, use code RAWFOOD40 and you'll get 40% off any of the ebooks. There is Have a Winter Raw Food Romance that I wrote like 10 years ago. And in there is the stuffing and the meatloaf and
the candied pecans.
The candied pecans. There's a couple different. There's an orange spinach salad dressing.
Yeah.
There's also the apple crumble. Like there's a few other recipes in there too, which are really fun. But the holiday menus are really great because if you want to do like a full-on raw vegan feast,
I love it.
And you can even pick and choose. Like if you got all 3 of the holiday menus, you could be like, oh, okay, I want the salad from this one, and I want the stuffing from this one, and I'll make the quiche and something else, right? So it's kind of like you can pick and choose as well.
Quiche is insane.
Yeah,
I used to be someone who loved eggs. I just loved eggs. And to have the quiche is so nice because it does give me that feeling like it's a real egg made quiche, right? And it's because of the Kalinamak salt, the black salt, that sulfur salt,
and the texture. You could even add Irish moss to it.
It's so incredibly good. The quiches are definitely one of my favorites.
We'll have to make one.
We're gonna make those when the boys are
You
here.
made yourselves hungry. So no one has excuses. Listen to all those different ways you can eat raw food at Christmas. And have
so many different things.
So many.
And have lots of fun. Okay, who wants to go next and share what they're doing for Christmas?
I'll go. We are going to be traveling home to where I'm from, Baltimore. So typically we just bring food, but my mom always asks if she can buy anything for us, and I usually just bring it along. But on Thanksgiving, she actually tried some vegan food, but not raw. So we're happy about that. We're getting closer,
That's
right?
awesome.
But I'll probably just bring a bunch of stuff for my, meals, salads and things for us. And then, but we usually go exchange gifts and, like we'll come in. I think we're gonna go Christmas Eve, so we can wake up there on Christmas this year. Usually we just go up on Christmas, and it's like a 1-day type, thing, trying to rush and do everything at once. So I think we might do that. So that was sort of what we talked about at Thanksgiving, but depends on work and things. But it's always fun because it's really like festive there. And my sister is pregnant, so we're all excited about that. So it'll be a special Christmas, and my 2 little sisters will be there. My mom, my stepdad will probably be acting like Santa or something, you know. So it's just it's cool to be there because we live here, just the two of us. So it's always interesting when we get there and there's like all these conversations going on, and you know, it's just like a whole different atmosphere and vibe there. So I love it. It's kind of nice to see everybody and my mom, of course. So that's what we'll be doing, hanging out, and I'll probably have salad. You know, I'm thinking about getting these books though. I'm like, I'm bringing Thanksgiving for you guys. I can have stuffing and everything made, right? But
that would be
I'll have to follow it very closely. But I'm at least gonna try some of those this year so we can broaden our horizons.
So good.
It looks really
good.
The stuffing, I love it that you made a holiday book.
The stuffing, like even on the second or third day, even just like straight out of the fridge, just chomping cold. Sometimes I'll do that, like out of the Tupperware. Like it is so good. I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, there's something nostalgic about that. So sometimes, and I see you guys sometimes when you make like Chinese food, you'll put it in a Chinese container. Is like sometimes when I put leftovers in a Chinese container to store in the fridge and I've pulled it out cold, I've been in the kitchen, I'm like, is this really different than getting the cold Thai food, you know, that I used to? Like it brings, and that's a huge thing for me. I'm such like an emotional type, like memory person with like, I think we all are, right? And when you, and that's why we do all these recipes, right? That you can relive like the eggs and stuff without involving animals. You know, you can have that feeling and be like, you know, I remember growing up eating quiche or eggs or whatever. And that to me is like even better than the actual taste of something that you get to relive.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's another reason why we like the wraps too, because when you wrap it in that deli paper, it's like you went to like a fast food place and you've got like this. Yeah. It's just sometimes it's tactile, right? You know, and the memories and everything.
That crunchy, like the taco shells. When we made the taco shells, we were like, oh my gosh, this is a crunchy taco shell. And we haven't had a crunchy taco shell in like 10 years. And crunchy tacos are really good, you know? I know, it's so interesting. The frame of reference and how we want to bring back these certain feelings that these certain foods have. And, you know, some will say, you know, the trolls and the haters are always out there and we love them.
Why do you have to make it taste like that?
Why are you trying to make it look like this or taste like that? And it's like, well, because we didn't give it up because we didn't like it.
But I'm kind of confused by that because they make their food taste like fruit and vegetables.
Right.
Like it's not like they pick up a pig and just eat it, right? They have to make it soft and like fruit or like a cooked vegetable or like even like a standard vegetable, right? Then flavor it with herbs, then add like a fruity sauce, and then they'll eat it. So I feel like we are actually like doing what's we're eating like closest to nature, and they're very confused. Like I'm like, guys, if you want pig, you have to just go pick up pig and eat it. And no one's going to do that, right? But like if they have to make it fruit or herbs or
and it's all about the flavorings.
The flavoring,
the base of the food, whatever it is.
It's interesting because we all, as we have these lenses on that we look through now, as a vegan, ethically, and as someone who cares about our health, so we're eating plant foods exclusively. It's so interesting how backwards the world really is set up, because what we do as someone who's a plant food enthusiast, raw or cooked, should be viewed just like basic, normal, but it's viewed as like so extreme. But what we see with the lens that we wear is that what's going on predominantly in the world, you know, eating dead animals and, you know, having heart surgery and on all kinds of medication, that's extreme.
Yes. These are all revelations I had when it's so obvious when your system is very clean, your lens is very clean. Truth is, you can't not see truth. Like I feel if you eat raw food, it gives you these glasses, or it takes off the foggy glasses, and it's like seeing reality. And you're like, why are people eating lamb and cake? And the whole conversation, because I went out with like family friends, or I went out with people when I first got well and I was raw, the whole conversation revolved around problems that were stemming from the food they were eating. They're eating like food which is making them sick, and the whole conversation revolved around their struggles to get upstairs. They're out of breath. Oh, they have a new neurologist's number. And I'm like, this is insane. I guess I habituated over time more, but it was just, it's like, that's another gift you get from eating raw foods, is you can see truth.
Sure.
Yes.
It's just really sad and heartbreaking that we're at a place, which of course stuff is shifting, but we're at a place where that's how we relate to one another now. What medications we're taking, what CPAP settings we have, at night, and, how we can't, we're getting older and it must be good to be young. But what's so fascinating is that it's not the people's fault. It's the systems that have been set up and in place for so long. And of course, it's all about the bottom dollar, making more money, making us addicted to the processed foods and these sorts of things. And it's a brilliant design to keep people numb and sick and addicted and hooked on medications right and left. But of course, this is where beautiful people like all of us sitting here, like we're throwing those little pebbles in the pond, making the ripples and the waves, just having these conversations, because it does help wake each other up. Like, maybe there is something else that I ought to be eating, but we have to relearn this. And that's hard. It's hard. It's tricky. I don't like saying hard. It's tricky to relearn how to shop, how to prepare food that's delicious, and how to disassociate in a sense, in a nice way, where we're not ostracizing ourselves and, isolating ourselves from family and friends because they don't eat the way we do. Because man, it's so interesting. Right? Yeah. It's like easier to change your religion. It's easier to change your religion than it is your diet in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's like so ingrained. And then there's that layer where your microbiome is so established. But also when I think about the food and recipes, it's not necessarily grandma's spaghetti bolognese that ever tasted the best, right? It's the memory and the neural network connection it's set up so strong that when I taste something similar, it gives me more euphoria and dopamine and comfort than if I had the experience of even fast food, because that is what we're all living for. Food has connected us to so many memories. It's not really Pizza Hut pizza that was the best. I mean, it's just salt and fat, right? And now we're shifting across to have that same experience with raw foods, but it's the memory of it being summer holidays, running around all day in the sun. The afternoon we're all relaxed, and then you're starving and you get salty fat. And when people understand that you can completely experience that, but feel consistently amazing, in fact, over time evolve into feeling even more amazing, that
if you do,
so good, right?
It's so beautifully stated what you just said right there. Exactly. It's the memories. And another thing that's fascinating is if you do pass the bagel shop or the Italian pasta place and you smell it, like what Liz and I will do, because they say just the enjoyment of eating is 80 to 90% is the smell of food.
Yeah.
So you can pause for a moment, close your eyes.
We go like this. We're like, we just enjoy 80% of that.
And of course, there's always going to be the trolls and the haters, which we love them. But it's like, if you had to sit there and smell, why don't you just eat it? It's like we just enjoyed 80% by just standing here, just breathing in the fresh bread smell,
Yeah.
We have a famous story here in Japan. This is not vegan, but it's like this poor guy. He just have rice to eat. So he'll sit next to this grilled fish place. So he just come with his rice bowl, and he just smells and he eats. And the smell, the scent is free, right? So he goes there every day.
Yeah. Well, that olfactory center, the olfactory center, which is right at the front of the brain. It's like the first thing that's hit. And because it's right at the front and the scent goes in, it like literally lights up all those pathways. But it's also a choice, as if you want to survive on this journey. This is what I did. I chose to smell these things and never say, I can't have that. I would say, how do I make that experience? And that's how I do my recipes. I want some tomato and herbs. I was never a huge meat eater anyway. It's not something I want. I want that experience. And the more I face life, and I try and say this as much as I can with seeking out what I can gain from it to better myself, the more I get better at doing it, and the more joy and health. And I just do it naturally now. Like even my brother-in-law won't even ask, don't you miss this? Don't you want this? He'll be like, how do you make spanner crab garlic? And I'm like, well, I get some mushrooms. No, actually, I think I said artichokes, and I'd marinate that in garlic. Like you become an expert at creating the experience.
Yeah,
exactly. I know. I love that about creating recipes so much. It's almost like, to me, it's like creating art, because I'm an artist. I do like a lot of painting, and I used to do painting and drawing, like molding clay, photography as well. So I'm very artistic. So when it comes to food, to me, it's like I've got a blank canvas and I can make these things. And like you said, making the experience so that people can enjoy the flavors of pizza without having the pizza. And it just brings back those memories and the joy, because we all have a frame of reference, right? We remember having that during a time, either celebration or comfort or with friends or whatever it is. If we can bring back those flavors without bringing back all the other stuff, right, then we can still enjoy it. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Something that came to mind was I went to my sister's 40th. I think I'd been raw for about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. And I never got, even if somebody says I'm making you food, I learned early on, nobody can get it right. You know what you like, right? And you want to stay raw. But I was like, right, there's a lot of dancing. Everyone's having a lot of cocktails, a lot of champagne, bag full of apples. There might have been some other fruit, bag full of apples. And there's me going all night, dancing on a table, eating an apple. I just kept my apple in my hand. Like I replaced, because I knew my hand, and I knew at the start, especially when I went raw, coming away from alcoholism, I just kept like soda water, kombucha, can I have a juice, some tea, some lemon water, the more things and you just really, your brain has this memory of being out socializing with something in your hand. Put an apple and I'm charged up and I'm socializing. I'm like going. And then at about 10 o'clock, I said, I want to go home. And no one even remembers that I left. They're thinking I'm dancing on the table all night, because the alcohol, of course, for them is kicked in and they don't really remember. So you think you're going to be like really different, but I feel like I'm different in a good way. No one could keep up with my dancing.
I love that.
I'm going to use that. That's such a great teaching tool right there.
It is.
Because we just want to hold something in our hand, like I would do the same thing at parties, because I've never been a big drinker. So I would just hold an empty, a beer bottle. I'd drink a beer and I'd have a beer bottle, but I'd fill it up the rest of the night with water. And people would be like, you still nursing that same beer? I'm like, no way, bro. This is like my 6th one, but I'm drinking water the whole time.
Yeah, there was one time when I was with my ex, we would go out a lot with his friends, and they would always order a round of shots. And because I'm sober, don't drink any alcohol at all, I would ask the bartender, I'd be like, hey, could you give me a shot of straight lemon juice? Straight lemon juice. And they would bring the platter, and I would have a shot to shoot with everybody, and I would still get that pucker face. Like you're like, oh, that's sour, right? And it to the point that there was another girl who was there one time, got a shot as well, a lemon juice shot, because she wanted to try it. And I saw on Mel Robbins, she was interviewing this guy, and they were talking about sobriety, and he was saying, it's like when you say no and you stand your ground in a social situation, you say no to animal products, you say no to alcohol, you say no to whatever, you are giving other people the permission to do the same, because they no longer feel alone. They can do it as well. So it is good to stand your ground and, stick to those choices, because you're influencing people in ways you might not even realize.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a huge motivation for me as well. So I was in Bali and I love dance. Everyone knows I love dancing. And I actually was, because the raw foods got me well, I was able to take dance classes. And we went to Bali. I went to a day bar with my sister and brother. So there's beautiful beach beds, and there's like music, and there's beautiful levels of pools. And I was loving that. And I was getting coconut water And then they brought out on the menu, because it's Bali, there was a shot of turmeric shot, ginger shot. There's a reel I made of this, spinach shot and coconut water shot. So filmed me having it. But the interesting thing was, after that, I danced nonstop for 2 hours, and younger girls would come in and start off by like dancing, but they couldn't keep up because they've been full of like fried food, and people are probably like, well, what's she on? I'm like, I'm on live and fresh food. I'm like dancing away. So like we get in our head that we are going to be boring, that we are not going to be fun, that it's not going to be fun at these places. But I reckon if I was with you guys and we're having shots of ginger and turmeric, laughing, having wraps and pizza, we would be so high vibe and having the best time. And it's just like a mind, we get trapped that this is it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so fascinating how we as people are drawn towards alcohol, because the alcohol gives us like, it's like permission to really be ourselves and let go. And I feel like in a lot of ways we feel kind of stuck, and we're kind of like maybe a little, social anxiety. Self-conscious. So you have a couple drinks and it's like, oh, okay, I don't even care what people think now. But it is interesting, like you say, when you go to Raw Foods, you already don't care what people think because you're a raw foodie. And then of course
you feel good.
Yeah.
You feel good. Yeah. Okay. So Kiko, what are you doing for Christmas?
She's wrapping presents. I can see.
Actually, I was making a sauce for the salad. Has anyone gone? Maybe Cecilia can.
Oh, Cecilia, you go. Oh, we can't hear you.
Okay. Just unmuted myself. So we're going to have a little thing here on the 23rd, and then we're going to travel to New York City on Christmas Eve. That's where I grew up and where most of my extended family is, in New York and New Jersey. And nice. I'm just, it's fun. I get to visit a lot, and I'm just thinking here as I'm listening and about what can I make. And that was one of the reasons I got the bundle. Obviously I want the recipes all year round, but I thought it'd be nice too for the holidays. So I'm trying to think of like, what can I make that it's a long drive and that would last probably even after the drive for another day. So I was first thinking I'm just going to sort of prep some ingredients and kind of get them ready so it's easy to kind of throw them together when I get there. But I'm also thinking like, is there anything I can make? Maybe something that's more frozen would be easier for travel. So I'm easy. Like I'll just look at recipes pretty close to the date. I don't really know exactly what I'm going to make yet. But it'll be fun, and I'm the only raw vegan in my whole family, so it'll just be. I mean, I'll try to get people. Sometimes they'll try things, but they're usually not the most enthusiastic. So I'm not expecting anything big.
Good, more for you, right?
Yeah, more for you.
Yeah, and just like somebody's, I think it was you, Nate, said like we don't care. None of us care, obviously, what people think because because we're raw vegan, and I don't really care. Yeah. And year in and year out, they don't stop asking the same questions though, but it's right.
I thought we saw a sweater. It was like, yes, I'm still vegan, right?
It
like
was one of those ugly Christmas sweaters.
Oh yeah. That's great.
Because that's always going to be the topic. So are you still vegan?
Yep. Yeah, and we grew up we all grew up vegetarian and largely vegan too. But all of my siblings one of them eats meat. My brother eats meat, but my two sisters are still vegetarian, but not vegan. And they just eat like a lot of cheese and all that kind of stuff. So it's amazing how different it is. You could look at someone who's vegan or vegetarian, and then someone who's going like whole foods, high raw or fully raw, and it's just like night and day. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's like going from omnivore to vegan almost.
From
right?
omnivore.
Yes. Yeah.
Or even just getting off of processed food. Even.
That
very
to
different.
me, I feel was the reason I could see not to eat meat. Like I feel like the term being paleo for a year was really about just not having processed food. And by the end, because I'm having vegetables, fruits, nuts, and seeds, and a meat, I could see on my plate, I'm like, something doesn't add up. But when the chemicals are in, like my brain is in it, like it really is. Like I feel it's like that first step you'll see so much clearer.
Yeah.
And how many people like operate on that level right now every single day of their life and will possibly never change, maybe because they don't get across the information, they don't meet people, but that's just their average baseline is feeling like just warmed over pig poo for, you know, day in, day out, right?
And you don't know it until you have experienced how good you can feel. You just never know. You'll never know, you know, amazing.
Yeah.
But what's so fascinating there again, like, so many psychological things that goes into changing how we view things. And there was this test that they did. They had people get on a subway, say like it was all of us here in this group. We were all on this, you know, go on the subway. And the test is when the light goes off, there's a certain light they're going to, you know, go off. Everybody stands up. And then, so we all get on knowing, okay, cool. When that light goes on, we're all going to stand up. So we get on and here come 3 more people. They don't know about the study or the test. And all of us stand up when the light goes on. They look around like, well, I guess we've got to stand up. And pretty soon we each get off, you know, as the stops come.
And new people get on, right?
Yep. And so eventually there's not one person from the original study still back on the subway, but everybody still stands up when the light goes off. And then so what I'm saying is, it's really tricky for people to get off of regular foods because they don't want to stand out. That's a lot of the test was like how we follow one another. We do what others are doing. We don't question. We're not like, why are they standing up when that light goes? They don't maybe even notice the light goes off, but they're like, oh, everybody's standing up. I guess we need to stand up too. And so that's why we, as raw foodies and vegans, we're crazy because we do things that are a little different.
Yeah, the whole system's built on the fact that a fundamental thing about humans is monkey see, monkey do, is we don't feel whole unless we do what people do around us. Like the monkey mimics what's around the environment. I was actually going to say that before when we were talking about eating like a raw food diet. And it's the hardest part of the food's beautiful. It's about that you have to stand on your own 2 feet and say, I am different.
That's the hardest part. I've had multiple homies I grew up with that are like, Nate, I will never go vegan because my friends mean more to me than what I eat, right? And I'm like, you know, it's understandable. I get it. You know, we understand, especially after the turn of events just a few years back, that human connection is a nutrient. So some value that circle of friends and the camaraderie more so than their own health. Or of course, the idea that, you know, the health, the well-being of animals, most people aren't going to make that connection. I feel like, you know, in our lifetime, I mean, it's definitely shifting.
You know, it's interesting. On that note, we were shopping for Christmas this morning, and you know, while I'm walking through the stores, I got some messages on YouTube, and this person was saying something like, you know, you should try eating animal products. Like, how do you know it was the animal products? Blah blah blah. And I was like, there is no way ever that I'm ever going to even try.
We've already done that.
Yeah. And then they said something that really stood out was like, what do you have to lose by trying? And I'm like, I don't have anything to lose. Who loses is the animal. Right? They lose their life.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to do that, you know, not
knowing we don't need to. It's not something that is, you know, we're going to die this winter because we're not going to eat the buffalo that the tribe caught. It's just, it's an unnecessary thing. But it's so amazing, though, how a lot of people won't even try it because they don't want to be different. They don't want to stand out. They don't want to cause a fuss. It's really tricky. Like I grew up in a redneck rural town and, you know, I had people like hating on me. It's like, bro, I'm not doing anything to you. I'm just eating a bell pepper. You're like, eat your venison. It's all good, man. Like, you know, but there again, you know, it's interesting when we think about everything being energy, like Nikola Tesla said, you know, if we want to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, and what kind of vibration we're putting into ourselves on a daily basis. And if we're killing things, I used to hunt. I used to shoot and kill and cut open animals and drag them out of the forest. I totally get the mindset, but I was at a point where I was like, you know what? This is not the energy that I want to be putting into myself, nor be around. And so that's really like, not to be like blowing my own horn or whatever, but that's a really courageous thing to do. It takes a lot of bravery to step out of the crab barrel, right? Because, you know, the staying of the crab barrel, you start crawling out, everybody's grabbing you and trying to pull you back down into the barrel. But when your conviction is strong, going, I just really don't want to vote for this. And then, of course, going raw, you just feel so good. You're just like, man, if people could just feel this, like if they could slip into our body for one day, how would they shift, right? It's so fascinating.
It is.
Nate, I toot my own horn all the time. Like, I feel like I am my biggest cheerleader. I am like, girl, what you've overcome, what you've done. The fact that you sit in a restaurant with all your past and you say, I will not eat anything on that menu, and you still smile is like, you're a legend. Because I think the more you do it, like, it's like there's another aversion to saying these things about us, right? And when you are eating a low vibe diet, it's coming from more of a narcissistic view. You are very like more hair trigger, you're very sensitive, your perception's different. But like, this is not that, it's not even that I think I'm better than people. Everyone has their own journey. I'm just concerned that I'm a legend.
Yeah,
I know.
You are a legend.
I'm like, I can do this.
Yeah.
I was
I love
thinking,
that.
like, did you ever watch a movie that you watched like before you were vegan? And like, I can't think of one offhand, but we've seen a couple of them now that the holidays are coming up, and someone will mention something little about vegan, or, you know, and usually in movies they put it in a derogatory way, like, oh, you're vegan or something, you know. But it's like it's so weird to think of my perception now, and like anything that happens in a movie like that I didn't even think about then, but now my lens with the world is so different. All of a sudden I'm worried about the animal that was harmed for that dinner rather than the story right for a second. You know, you just go out of that. Or if someone says, I was like, oh, she said she was vegan, I didn't even notice that the first time I watched this, because it's like it stands out to you. And it's so wild to like just think about your life, because I grew up similar in an area like that, like, you know, and it was like 42 years of my life, my perception was one thing, and then like basically almost right away, and it's gotten stronger, it just changed. Like, you just got to remember how people are seeing the world, and like, we're all just, you know, trying to put our stories out, and our like how we perceive the world is so important, because maybe they can get a piece of that perception and it can change something, you know, in their mind. But I just always found that interesting, because I'm always like, I don't know how I did this, I don't know how I did that, but somehow watching that movie the other night was like, well, when I saw that, I didn't even think about it, you know. It was like my brain was different.
I'm just going to have to speed things up a little bit. I will have to end this party like just right on 11. So Kiko, are you ready to share what you're doing for Christmas?
Yes. So my husband and I, well, because we're living here in Japan and my parents both passed away, we haven't planned anything special, but I have my cafe on December 24th, and I've got some reservation, and it's been amazing that people are reserving, and they're coming from far. You know, like taking 3-4 hours to get to my cafe. So
That's cool.
so I will be preparing some special meals, and I just finished preparing the sauce.
Oh, let me bring you up.
Oh, I don't know, just the sauce. So this is tahini sauce.
So pretty.
Yeah, but I'm gonna I think it looks better without the sauce, so I'm just gonna drizzle the sauce over. The sauce is just tahini, no, not tahini, I'm sorry, hemp seed, lemon juice, dates, some herb de Provence, herb mix, and amino, like soy sauce, garlic, of course. And yeah, I'm
I
gonna
want it.
I'll
order that one.
Thank you.
I love that.
Yes, I'm really. So I will probably make something like this for people who are who made a reservation in December. So.
Oh,
I can't wait to go. I can't wait to go to her place, man. Jeez.
Yay. Okay, so I was just going to bring this up. So let me just see if I can. So there's on my website, there's 200 free recipes. These are the recipes a lot of the time that I did when I first went raw. Now with the, oh, can I find this page? Okay, this one here I usually do every year. You have to remember in Australia, it is hot. Like so hot that a lot of the time, sadly, there's bushfires going on. As a child, we really didn't want to eat because we just wanted to swim. That's what we did. We swam, might have had a little bit of salad, a chocolate. That was our thing. But as I grew up, I guess salads were a thing. So I was like, well, what do I do? And I made this recipe. It doesn't have nuts or seeds. It's very simple. And I call it like a rosemary stuffing salad topper. So you just make the stuffing and you just put it through a salad. And that to me is like enough on Christmas Day. And I make that most years. But in truth, sometimes I just bring a case of mangoes and just eat the mangoes, because I find when I do that for like at lunchtime, which is really hot, I end up over at the ocean pool with my nieces jumping off the wharf and like being like a kid. And then you see everybody doing course after course after course with alcohol and desserts, right. And they don't move.
And they're laying down. Yep. They're like, I got to sleep. And you're over there swimming. Yes. I want to be with you. And I'm like a water person too.
Yeah, it's actually really funny because my sister will be like, Indy, Addie, Sky. Like she it's like let's come back. So you get to relive your youth.
I know. I'm always hanging out with. I was like juggling for the kids last time at Thanksgiving. I'm like hanging out. I'm like, I feel like that energetic, like vibe. Like it's so nice to be around.
Well, there's that saying like if we could only bottle up their energy, we'd be billionaires. Yeah. And it's like, but it's available for you, right?
Yeah.
Just eat more raw food.
Yeah.
Eat more plant food.
It's very healing for someone like me who's missed a lot of my life. And then as I got well, my nieces got old, like they lived their childhood, and I went to a lot of movies. I went to fun parks and I'd like hang out with them, and having that energy of the raw foods, that was a huge like healing part. So it's just magical, right?
Magical.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask before we go, what are we doing for the next party? What's going to be the theme? We always come together. We always decide the theme.
Oh, is it New Year's?
What's New Year's Eve?
No, January.
No, January.
No, we'll do January. I won't do that for you guys. You can have your New Year's Eve.
It'll be sometime second week January or so, right?
Yeah. We'll get Calendar Girl over there.
That's my birthday, the second week of January.
Oh, happy birthday,
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes, I just had my birthday too.
Happy birthday.
When's your birthday? When's your birthday, January?
15th.
That's cool.
Like
That's
Martin
my
Luther
oldest.
King.
Jonas.
Okay, that's my oldest son's birthday.
No
15th,
way.
yeah.
Oh, that is awesome.
Wow.
A Capricorn.
25.
Yeah, he'll be 25 this year.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
I'm going to be 25 too. I wish. No, I'm just kidding.
Yay!
I'll be 49 this year.
Maybe we bring a dish from our youth. Like talking about
I like that.
That's fun.
Idea.
Yeah, like we're talking about nostalgia and like the memory.
Okay.
There'll be something each of us like. Is that good?
Yeah, I love that.
Let's do that.
That's fun.
Type that in the group because
Let's
I
do it.
always like forget. So I'm just going to type that across in the group right now.
There we go.
I like that idea.
Yeah,
man, which
I've
one
got
do I
a
wanna
couple things
pick
I'm
now?
thinking.
I can believe.
Oh yeah.
So definitely did
I'll
not
go.
eat salad as a child, so I'm gonna have to come up with something better than my normal diet.
Yeah.
Raw diet.
That's right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you.
I love all you guys too. This was
Thanks,
great.
guys.
Thank you to everybody.
And
Happy
yes,
holiday.
everyone in the
Holidays.
comments.
Holidays.
Happy
Holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Happy birthday to your son too. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
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 Thank you.